The United Kingdom is a constitutional monarchy with a parliamentary democracy, a system in which the monarchy is the ceremonial head of state, and the elected parliament is the primary governing body. The UK's political structure is unique due to its combination of ancient traditions, decentralized governance, and a complex array of political institutions. Monarchy and constitutional framework. The role of the monarch. The British monarch serves as the ceremonial head of state, embodying continuity and tradition in the UK's political system. Although the monarchy once held considerable power, today, it is primarily a symbolic institution, with most of its former powers now exercised by elected representatives. The current monarch, King Charles III, has a largely ceremonial role but is involved in state affairs in a limited capacity, such as opening and closing sessions of Parliament, granting royal assent to legislation, and meeting with the Prime Minister to be informed about government matters. The monarch's powers, known as the royal prerogative, are exercised on the advice of the Prime Minister and other ministers, and they cover areas such as the appointment of government ministers, ambassadors, and the granting of honours. However, these powers are rarely used without ministerial advice, reflecting the constitutional principle that the monarchy should remain politically neutral. History and significance of the British monarchy. The British monarchy is one of the oldest in the world, with its roots tracing back over 1,000 years. Throughout history, the monarchy has undergone significant changes, evolving from an absolute institution to a constitutional one. Key events such as the signing of the Magna Carta in 1215, the English Civil War, 1642-1651, the Glorious Revolution, 1688, and the Bill of Rights, 1689, gradually limited the powers of the Crown and established the principles of parliamentary sovereignty. The monarchy remains an essential part of the UK's national identity and is a source of tourism, cultural heritage, and international diplomacy. Despite periodic debates about its relevance, the institution continues to enjoy broad public support, symbolising continuity and tradition amidst the political and social changes of modern Britain. The current royal family. The royal family is headed by King Charles III, who ascended to the throne following the death of his mother, Queen Elizabeth II, in 2022. Other prominent members of the royal family include Queen Camilla, the Prince and Princess of Wales, William and Catherine, and their children, who are next in line to the throne. The royal family participates in numerous charitable activities, state functions, and public engagements, representing the UK at home and abroad. Parliamentary system. The House of Commons and the House of Lords. The UK Parliament is a bicameral legislature consisting of two houses, the House of Commons and the House of Lords. House of Commons. The House of Commons is the lower house but the more powerful of the two chambers. It is composed of members of Parliament, MPs, each representing one of the 650 constituencies across the UK. MPs are elected through general elections held every 5 years, or sooner if an election is called earlier. The leader of the political party with the majority of seats in the House of Commons becomes the Prime Minister and forms the government. The House of Commons is responsible for debating and passing laws, scrutinising government policy and administration, and representing the interests of the public. MPs can introduce bills, participate in debates, and vote on proposed legislation. The Speaker of the House of Commons presides over debates, ensuring order and impartiality. House of Lords. The House of Lords is the upper house of Parliament and is composed of appointed life peers, hereditary peers, and bishops of the Church of England. Unlike the House of Commons, members of the House of Lords are not elected. Life peers are appointed by the monarch on the advice of the Prime Minister or the House of Lords Appointments Commission, while a limited number of hereditary peers retain their seats under current reforms. The House of Lords reviews and suggests amendments to bills passed by the House of Commons but cannot veto them outright. It also plays a crucial role in scrutinising government policy, conducting in-depth debates, and examining specific issues through its various committees. The Lords have the power to delay legislation and suggest revisions, but they ultimately defer to the elected House of Commons. The role of MPs and Lords. MPs in the House of Commons and Lords in the House of Lords both contribute to the legislative process, albeit in different ways. MPs introduce and debate legislation, represent their constituents, and hold the government to account through various parliamentary procedures, such as Prime Minister's questions, PMQs, debates, and committee inquiries. Lords, on the other hand, provide expertise, revise legislation, and conduct detailed examinations of policies. The Lords' diverse backgrounds, including former judges, diplomats, academics, and business leaders, offer a broad range of expertise that complements the more politically focused House of Commons. How laws are made. The legislative process in the UK involves several stages, ensuring thorough debate and scrutiny before a bill becomes law. A proposed piece of legislation, known as a bill, can be introduced in either the House of Commons or the House of Lords. The main stages of the legislative process are as follows. First reading. The bill is introduced, and its title and main objectives are read out. No debate occurs at this stage. Second reading. The general principles of the bill are debated, and a vote is taken to decide whether it should proceed. Committee stage. The bill is examined in detail by a committee of MPs or Lords, who consider amendments. Report stage. The bill, with any amendments, is considered again by the whole House. Third reading. The final version of the bill is debated, and a vote is taken. If approved, the bill moves to the other House to undergo a similar process. House of Lords consideration. If the bill started in the Commons, it moves to the Lords for debate, and vice versa. Amendments may be made, and these must be agreed upon by both houses. Royal assent. Once both houses agree on the final version, the bill is sent to the monarch for royal assent, after which it becomes law. Devolved governments. The Parliament of Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland, the UK, is a union of 4 countries, 3 of which, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland, have their own parliaments or assemblies with varying degrees of legislative power. This system of devolution allows these countries to exercise authority over certain areas of policy while remaining part of the United Kingdom. Scotland. The Scottish Parliament, located in Edinburgh, was established in 1999 following a referendum in which the Scottish people voted for devolution. It has power over areas such as education, health, environment, and justice. The Parliament has 129 members of the Scottish Parliament, MSPs, who are elected through a mixed-member proportional representation system. Scotland retains the right to hold referendums on independence, as seen in 2014, when 55% voted to remain part of the UK. Wales. The Senedd Cymru, Welsh Parliament, formerly known as the National Assembly for Wales, was also established in 1999. It has legislative authority over areas such as health, education, local government, and transport. The Senedd consists of 60 members of the Senedd, MSs, elected using an additional member system, which combines first-past-the-post and proportional representation. Northern Ireland. The Northern Ireland Assembly, located in Stormont, Belfast, was established under the Good Friday Agreement in 1998, a peace accord that ended decades of sectarian conflict known as the Troubles. The Assembly has authority over devolved matters such as health, education, and justice. It operates on a power-sharing basis, requiring cooperation between nationalist and unionist parties. However, political disagreements have led to periodic suspensions of the Assembly. Powers and limitations of devolved governments. The devolved parliaments and assemblies have significant powers in areas like education, health, environment, and justice, but certain matters remain reserved to the UK Parliament in Westminster. Reserved matters include foreign affairs, defence, immigration, and national security. The devolution settlement is dynamic, and the powers of these parliaments and assemblies have evolved since their establishment, often expanding through further devolution agreements. However, devolution has also led to complexities and debates about the balance of power, particularly in light of recent political developments like Brexit, which has raised questions about the distribution of powers returned from the European Union to the UK. Administrative divisions. Counties, boroughs, and local governance. The UK's local government system is highly varied across its 4 constituent countries, with differences in administrative divisions, responsibilities, and structures. England. England is divided into 48 ceremonial counties, each represented by a Lord Lieutenant, who serves as the monarch's representative. For administrative purposes, England is further divided into several types of local government areas, including counties, unitary authorities, metropolitan boroughs, and London boroughs. Each of these areas has a local council responsible for providing services such as education, housing, transportation, and waste management. In recent years, there has been a move towards devolution to city regions, such as Greater Manchester and the West Midlands, which have elected mayors with powers over transport, housing, and economic development. Scotland. Scotland has 32 council areas, each governed by a unitary authority responsible for providing local services. These councils have significant powers in areas such as education, social care, and transport. Scotland does not have counties in the same way as England. Instead, its council areas function as both administrative and ceremonial divisions. Wales. Wales is divided into 22 principal areas, including 11 county councils and 11 county borough councils. Each of these areas is governed by a unitary authority that is responsible for delivering a range of local services. Similar to Scotland, Wales does not have traditional counties for administrative purposes, although historic counties are still used for ceremonial and cultural reasons. Northern Ireland. Northern Ireland is divided into 6 historic counties and 11 local government districts, each governed by a council. These councils have limited powers compared to their counterparts in the rest of the UK, primarily focusing on local services like waste management, leisure facilities, and community development. Metropolitan and non-metropolitan counties. England, in particular, has a complex array of administrative divisions. It includes metropolitan counties, created in 1974. These cover major urban areas like Greater Manchester, West Midlands, and Merseyside. They are further divided into metropolitan boroughs, each with its own council. Non-metropolitan counties cover rural and less densely populated areas, each with a 2-tier structure consisting of a county council and district councils, or they can be unitary authorities combining the functions of both. The structure of local governance in the UK is continually evolving, reflecting changing political priorities, demographic shifts, and local needs. Combined authority areas and other administrative units. Combined authority areas. In recent years, several regions in England have formed combined authority areas, where local councils work together to address shared issues such as transport, economic development, and housing. These combined authorities often have elected mayors who hold significant executive powers, such as in Greater Manchester, West Midlands, and Liverpool City region. Lieutenancy areas and parishes. Lieutenancy areas in England are ceremonial regions that correspond to traditional counties, headed by a Lord Lieutenant. Parishes represent the smallest unit of local government and play a role in rural areas, often responsible for local amenities like community centres and playing fields. The UK's political structure and governance reflect its unique history and the ongoing negotiation between tradition and modernity, centralised authority, and local autonomy. This complexity makes it both fascinating and challenging to understand, but it also contributes to the country's dynamic and adaptive nature.